Up next, we have Ayodele Aruleba. Ayo is a senior in the college, majoring in government with minors in economics and African American studies. He's a proud New Yorker from the Bronx. During his freshman year and sophomore years, Ayo was a member of Georgetown's mock trial team and was heavily involved in diversity advocacy for the Georgetown University Student Association. He is a member of the International Economics Honor Society, Omicron Delta Epsilon, and was appointed by President DeGioia to serve on the Working Group for Slavery, Memory, and Reconciliation. This year, he served as a trip leader for the Alternative Breaks program and is currently the co-chair of Georgetown Scholarship Program's Student-Led Professional Development Initiative. When he's not watching the CNN live stream, Ayo enjoys cooking, exercising, and taking naps. After graduation, Ayo will be staying in the DC area to begin his career at Deloitte. Please welcome Ayodele Aruleba.
Good morning. Georgetown reminds me to always check the mail. However thin the envelope might have been, its contents have led me to this moment today. Since making my decision to attend Georgetown, there have been a number of moments that have mattered along the way that will make me cherish this experience for a lifetime. Now today I want to talk about the most important ones, the ones that help me know that if I ever had to do it all over again, I would always choose the hilltop. But let me take a step back to what I was looking for in a school when I was in your shoes. Now, growing up in the busy streets of New York, I knew I wanted to go to school that was in a major city, but I also relished the secluded campus feel that you often see depicted in the movies, where I could enjoy what I had been told would be the greatest years of my life, away from the daunting chaos of adulting and the real world. Georgetown fit this mold, but really I only knew 3 things about it when I applied. That Bill Clinton went here, that Allen Iverson went here, but that it wasn't on the Common App. What I didn't quite understand about Georgetown before arriving was what made the hilltop special. I could talk about the accolades of distinguished faculty like former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright or former DNC Chair Donna Brazile, but really it's the individual people that are brought together in this community that make it special. And when I say that, one of the people that come to mind is my freshman roommate, Michael, someone I met during Gap Weekend, specifically through the Hoya Saxa Weekend program that subsidizes visits for accepted students of color. I consider him a lifelong friend, and he's still my roommate to this day. But don't let this fool you. While we may come from similar backgrounds, our East Coast versus West Coast debate will never end, because my firm belief that New York streets that never sleep will always, always top any LA beach. The friendships that I've made on the hilltop with students from all over the world are what push me every day to be my best self, despite the challenges I may face along the way. They're the ones that are there for me, in tears and in joy, in A's and in D's. The D part's a joke, but seriously, there's another word you can't escape when you talk about Georgetown students, and that's passion. What still amazes me every day is that the passion which has driven many of you to lead exceptional lives in your schools and in your communities is brought to new heights after becoming a Hoya. A moment that comes to mind when I think about that passion is my embrace of providing professional development resources for low-income students like myself. As a student leader in the Georgetown Scholarship Program, I put all this work into planning this event on imposter syndrome. And if you don't know, imposter syndrome is that feeling you have when you're uncomfortable being yourself because you have this idea, this notion, that you're not supposed to be in a space or get an opportunity, and that sooner or later, you'll be found out as an imposter. Despite my hard work, on the night of the big event, only 8 people showed up. I thought my passion to make an impact had gone to waste. When I got home, and I logged onto Facebook, I saw that a freshman student from the event shared a long reflection. She described how much the event had impacted her, teaching her not only not to play down her accomplishments, but rather to use them as examples of the great things she has done and the power she has to do more, all while encouraging others to do the same. My passion had touched one person, and that was enough for me. And I saw myself in her reflection. I too had experienced moments like this early on in my Georgetown career, where student-led action resulted in deep personal growth. As a young sophomore, I had the opportunity to go on a trip to Ferguson, Missouri, for a weekend of actions to address police brutality led by seniors. And being on the ground those days, with Hoyas from across the country, I got to look beyond the dominant media depictions of Ferguson, but it also made me realize the power of building community across boundaries to make change for the better, no matter where we find ourselves. When I returned to Georgetown, I realized that this formative experience was possible only because I was in the right city with the right people at the right time. Living in our nation's capital with fearless Hoya mentors during the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement, I grew into my identity. Another moment that comes to mind is when at the beginning of my junior year, through the recommendation of my mentor and confidant, Father Raymond Kemp, I had the honor of being appointed to the working group on slavery, memory, and reconciliation by President DeGioia. This working group was in charge with exploring Georgetown's historical relationship to slavery and its legacies in our nation, and engaging the Georgetown community on this history. Through the working group, I had the privilege of meeting some of the descendants of the slaves that were sold in 1838 to finance the growth of this university. After hearing the descendants' appreciation for students' work and pushing forward this dialogue, I began to truly grasp the impact of our work and the moment that was playing out in our university's history. Our work was the manifestation of Georgetown's Jesuit values. And in contemplating on the university's response to social justice issues that are ever more relevant in these times, I observed the importance of reflection, the power of faith and justice, and the bonds forged through community and diversity come to life. I cannot say that just one moment defines my Georgetown experience. I can say that for me, every moment that Georgetown has given me mattered. From my first Georgetown lesson on mail, to my LA roommate calling hoodies jackets, and all the way to this moment with you all now. Throughout my 4 years, I've experienced the beauty of the intellectual curiosity and passion that pervades our campus community. Although many of the people on my freshman floor seem to be distant from the Bronx neighborhood I call home, I quickly learned that the diverse experiences of each Hoya is what makes the Hilltop truly transformative. The connection you feel with each and every Hoya doesn't end when I walk across the stage. Come homecoming weekend each October, you learn two things about Georgetown. One, the families and babies dressed from head to toe in Georgetown gear. That proves that the Hilltop is home for life. And two, our alumni still know how to party. Georgetown is special, not because of its prestigious reputation or the fancy halls like this one, but Georgetown is special because our commitment to cura personalis, meaning that we care for the whole person. And we are a community of students working to live our lives for others. And that's why Georgetown is my home. Thank you, and welcome home.